All right.
From Vermont to upstate New York, this is The Anything Show with John Francois, featuring Andrew Vandertunt of the Lifestyle of a Gay Black Boy podcast. Now, here's that John guy.
Yes, indeed. Sunday, January 16th, as we record this. John Francois here in Colchester, Vermont. My pal, Andrew Vandertunt, joining me from Rochester, New York. Hello, Andrew.
Hola.
I love the show that we have today. My good friend Alyssia Cobie-Nuss from my days doing radio in Iowa. She's going to be joining us later on, talking about everything from getting COVID and spreading it throughout her family to BOUJEE Hot Chocolate. We have Elodie Yung, who is the star of the new Fox drama The Cleaning Lady, which I hear is getting a lot of great reviews, so great timing for that. For our celebrity gossip, Jeremy Renner is teaching girls how to do something that he really shouldn't be teaching. Headlines, we're going to talk about how your chips are tasting like stadium dirt. You can listen, follow, subscribe, rate, review The Anything Show with John Francois on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts. Find us on social at facebook.com/The Anything Show and at Anything Show Francois on Instagram and TikTok. We're also on YouTube. All right, support for The Anything Show with John Francois coming from the sticky bra of all sticky bras, Andrew. It's Perkies. How much do we love Perkies?
We love Perkies. They stick to our hearts.
Yes, and they make us perky, if you know what I mean. Perkies from our good friend Rosie, who we interviewed on last week's episode. She had the good sense to create the perfect sticky bra that does not get dirty easily, that does not lose their stick after a few wears, and does not fall off when you least expect it. So really, Perkies is literally the only sticky bra on the market with replacement adhesives. It's clean, confident, and comfortable. Perkies is the future of sticky bras, and since the launch, Perkies has added reusable nipple covers, Perkies panties, to its line. So whether you have a wedding, cocktail party, date night, you name it, your top will typically require a non-traditional bra, and this is why Perkies has you covered. Please go to the website perkies.com. That is PERKIES.com. And I believe with discount code FF15, you get 15% off. It should automatically go on the website, but just in case, I believe it's F as in Frank 15 to get 15% off your first purchase at perkies.com. Andrew, my man, shall we start the show off in style with some headlines?
Let's do it.
Yes, indeed. It's your headlines, y'all. Alrighty, what do we got here? Oh, like I said, your chips, I guess they're tasting like dirt from an NFL stadium, Andrew. Lay's potato chips. They've been secretly growing potatoes in dirt taken from those NFL stadiums, and they have made a limited edition line. I don't know if my dream is to have chips that taste like football cleats, but I think that Lay's is trying to force me onto that dream. What do you think, Andrew?
Tasty. It's delicious. The chips from AstroTurf, Blood, Sweat, and Shame. I'll eat them.
Yeah, right. It's so crazy. And, you know, speaking of food that hopefully is not going to be covered in, football stadium dirt, we have wine and mac and cheese that's now being considered a pairing that we need to have. So, Andrew, you know how like wine and cheese is like a classic pairing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now a poll says that wine and mac and cheese is what you need to do. And I find it honestly weird because for me, mac and cheese is like American, down home, casual, sweatpants, comfort food. And wine is like that very elitist, like, oh, I'm a liberal in New York City and I'm drinking wine and I'm better than everybody.
I am here for this. Like, give me like a very good mac and cheese made from like a very expensive cheese with a very expensive wine.
Yeah.
Guys made this the fun type of thing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just, look, mac and cheese and ginger ale is where I stand on a mac and cheese combination with a beverage, Andrew. I mean, not only do I not like wine, but I think that if you're going to have, something with mac and cheese, like something, that goes great with the saltiness and the cheesiness, you got to have something maybe as equally as salty, something like ginger ale.
See, I would try like a brie mac and cheese with a Chardonnay. That would probably be delicious.
Yes, you know that. You know what's not. You know what's not delicious though? The fact that people are just spreading glitter around the room and they really don't have any idea what the consequences are. So, Andrew, I heard about this story of the two female roommates in their 20s that. They stormed into a man's house early Monday morning, and they just threw a bunch of glitter at him. Now, we don't know why the girls did this. I'd like to think that the man did something as heinous as like killing the girls' dog or making them fail their SATs. Because, you know, when you get a glitter attack going, it's pretty serious.
It is. Glitter is not meant for attack. It's meant for defense. So they disrespected glitter, but it's like the herpes of arts and crafts. You're actively destroying someone's life. Glitter never leaves you. There's always some of it left behind.
So every time, because of you, Andrew, every time that I look at someone with herpes, I'm going to think that there's just glitter coming out of their, you know what?
Yeah, they're just a person with glitter coming out of whatever place it happens to be at.
And how about a perfect pro and con balance? The con is you have herpes. The pro is, hey, there's herpes. No, there's glitter coming out of your genitalia.
It's festive.
Yeah.
It's called an explosion of love.
Oh, my goodness. You know what's also festive? Looking at dead bodies and being hungry because of them. Medical students, Andrew, in our next headline, they like to work on cadavers. Obviously, it's their job. And apparently when they work on cadavers, it makes them hungry, not because of like being a cannibal, but because the smell of formaldehyde increases their appetite. Now, Andrew, what say you about this? I mean, I find this disturbing. What do you think?
Every funeral I went to explains why I went to go to a buffet afterwards.
Are you serious? Were you really actually hungry after seeing your dead grandma?
Each time I was like, oh, I'm starving. And we would go eat the best food.
Yeah, now there's something to that because, you know, coming from a Haitian family where I've been through like a lot of Haitian funerals, the reception, oh my goodness, the food at the reception is banging. You know, you almost want to say, wow, whoever died, why did you have to die now? Like, can you just come back to life briefly so you could taste this great fried chicken and then go back to sleep?
Yes, just wake up for 30 seconds and just take a bite of something because the food's always phenomenal. Black funerals, it's always that. It's celebration at the end of it, and you have this delicious food.
Yeah, and now you know, Andrew, you're not going to catch black people being one of the top 10 catches from 2021, because you know this is like a list from the TSA, and I think we black people we know that we're smart enough not to become easy bait for the TSA at the airport. So I'm looking at the TSA's top 10 catches from 2021. They include a meth burrito, bullets inside of deodorant, a chainsaw, and a wine holder shaped like a gun. Now, Andrew, be honest. Do you think any of this has been caused by a black person?
You know, the thing is, now that I hear meth burrito out loud.
Yeah, which might be the name of our episode.
You know what? I like that. Meth burrito wine. There's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack here. I'm very confused for this individual. I just want to know, where was he going and how was he going to get the bullets out of the deodorant and into the gun in time?
I don't know, man.
Meth burrito.
You know what? I'd like to think that this guy was like a guy that was planning to hijack the plane, and he said, you know what? If I'm going to go out swinging, I'm going to go out swinging, baby. Right?
Okay, I can see that.
Yes.
The meth burrito starts it all.
Absolutely. By the way, that joke I just made, it's a good thing I didn't make that on September 11, 2001. So there you go. Oh, God. Anyway, we move on. Where am I, Andrew? Oh, by the way, I did write down meth burrito wine on our show doc because I want to remember that as a possible great show name idea, you know?
You know what? It rings. It rings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, farts coming out of your butt. They ring too. A new survey in England asked people to name embarrassing symptoms they've never tell their doctor about. The one that got the most votes was excessive flatulence. Now, this is funny, Andrew, because I just told you before the show that I have been farting like a engine that just goes on 24/7 because, you know, I have anxiety and I've been eating this frozen pizza that my girlfriend's best friend made the other day. So when you have the anxiety compared with the or combined with the frozen pizza, of course, you're going to have farts like, I don't know, there are numbers. Like, you know how 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's how my farts range, you know? The lower the number, the lower the fart, the higher the number, the more silent and deadly the fart.
Oh, so your farts have the scale of like tornado disasters.
Yes.
This is interesting.
That alert that you see on television related to the weather, it's not an actual tornado. It's just the tornado that's coming out of my ass.
Now, big question. Do you alert people when it's like a 9 or a 10, or do they just have to find out on their own?
They have to find out on their own, because what is a fart if it's not surprising? You know what I'm saying?
I see. Silent but deadly sneakies.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, Andrew, I'm so sorry, because according to a recent survey, your face is so ugly if you're not wearing a face mask. That's what it's telling me. Literally, they say that men and women are more attractive if we wear a face mask, because like a mask directs more attention to the eyes, and the mask feels more safe and reassuring. Literally, I'm looking at this study, Andrew, and it's telling me, wow, if I'm wearing a mask, that's the only way I'm going to be beautiful.
Okay, so this is a study from Big Mask. They're trying to take over the world.
Ooh.
They've got a plan. I don't know what it is.
Now,
but
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. I was going to ask about Big Mask, because it sounds like one of them like conspiracy theory groups thing, like QAnon or Proud Boys or whatever.
Yes, you know what? That's what it is. It's Big Mask. Big Mask. They're out there. They want people to just cover their faces. They're like, everybody deserves to be beautiful. And I agree with everybody deserving to be beautiful. But truly, I find some people very attractive with their mask on. Like, they're hot. I've run into some hot mask wearing people.
Wow. Now, I mean, do you propose things to happen while they have their mask on, or do you prefer them to have their mask off once we get to the dirty business?
I've had a masked hookup, and it was pretty fun.
Nice.
So, you know, I could see it happening again. Some people's N95s, they really get me going.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like criminals hooking up after they robbed a grocery store. Just think of it like that.
Oh, yes. It's like, we know what we're doing. There's risk. And I can't see your face, so I don't know who you are.
Exactly. So if you decide to like sue me for sexual harassment, you don't know what I look like. So there you go. Oh. Alrighty. So this teacher in Kentucky is blowing up on TikTok. By the way, you can follow us on TikTok at Anything Show Francois. And I'm not a woman, but I'd like to think that this teacher is doing a bad thing by doing her hair and makeup at night instead of in the morning, Andrew. So she has to wake up early for school. She's not a morning person. So she's like, let me just do everything on my face before I go to bed, so that when I get up in the morning, it's all ready to go. But I'd like to think that with like all the smooshing and rolling around on the pillow that she's doing to her face, and, you know, the contact that the makeup could have with her eyes and her mouth as a result of that, I'd like to think that's like terrible for her skin, right?
It's that oily morning sheen. She's got that glow of caked on skin.
Yeah.
Can you imagine waking up and your eyelash is in your mouth? That's so weird.
Yeah. I mean, for some people that just sounds like a drunk night in Miami, but in this teacher's case, it's literally just her nightly bedroom routine.
Well, I hope she enjoys it. I hope her face is okay, because that sounds really scary.
Yeah, I think so. And you know what's also scary? The fact that there's a judge that actually exists who is this inhumane. I was hearing about this judge outside Detroit, Andrew, who was catching some heat online after threatening to throw a cancer patient in jail, all because he has not been keeping up with his yard work. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's too busy having cancer to worry about his big afro of a lawn.
I saw, and he's 72 years old.
Jesus.
72-year-old cancer patient, and you're like, hey, you're bad for not cleaning your lawn. Let's throw you away. What?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I honestly, I don't know what to say other than what is your name? What is your name, Mr. Vandertunt? I totally forgot your name.
AJ.
AJ? Okay, AJ. Okay. So this is a cue that I'm not getting enough sleep, according to our last headline here. Did you know that if you immediately forget somebody's name, chances are you're not getting the sleep that you need to get? Now, usually they say it happens when you meet someone new and immediately forget their name, but just for shits and giggles, because even though we know each other this long, Andrew, I'm not going to remember who you are.
It's understandable. I forget every name of every face I meet right when I meet them. It is the worst thing in the world.
Now, is it because you're so busy, you got a lot on your mind, and you don't even have time to be a human and know who people are?
No, it's not that. It'll literally be in the same conversation. I've had people walk up to me, introduce themselves, and by the time we're saying goodbye, I'm like, what was their name?
Yeah. You know what? I can think of some kids belonging to a friend of mine who I've seen several billion times. They actually listen to the show. They follow us on TikTok at Anything Show Francois, Andrew. And probably because they're twins, I still cannot remember for the life of me which one is which. And they're big fans of the show.
Oh my gosh. That's got to be hard.
Yeah.
That's got to be so hard. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Celebrity names I'm good with, but not actual human being names that matter more. So I feel bad about that. Well, it's scientific studies like these that remind me why it's good to really just dive deep into science. And, I got to thank one of our good pals, Mel Science, MEL Science, for sponsoring this episode of the Anything Show with Jon Francois. Have you taken a look at melscience.com, Andrew?
Yes, I am very excited about it. This is something I do with my nephews already. We like to do little science projects together. So this service seems quite amazing for what we want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this is the simple way how Mel works. So you go to melscience.com, you choose a course or start with a mix from and it starts, prices start at $25.90 per month. And then what happens is you can get a new science kit monthly with your subscription. So you'll receive a science box with 1 to 5 hands-on projects delivered to your door every month. Then you gain access to VR and AR lessons and live lessons with professional science teachers. And there's no commitment. That's the great thing. So if you don't like it, you can cancel, switch to another course at any time. If you want to try something else on the Mel Science website, 100% money back guarantee if you are just completely dissatisfied with Mel Science in general. Mel Science is there to break the stereotype that science is boring, difficult, and only for certain types of people smart people. Andrew, I know you're a big fan of science.
I love science.
Yeah. And this Mel Science at melscience.com, all the serious science, it's going to be accessible, interesting, cool. We all know that science is all about exploration, experiments, discovery, asking questions, which comes naturally to all children. Now, I dispute the fact that this is only for children. I think adults like you and I, Andrew, could benefit from this, especially me, since I barely paid attention to science other than Bill Nye the Science Guy on PBS.
We are going to order kits. I'm ordering kits. I want one. I want to see what it's all about. It looks amazing. I would love to do some Frankenstein stuff.
Absolutely.
In my apartment.
And you know what? Can I be your Frankenstein victim? Can you poke needles through me, Andrew?
Anytime. Yes.
Yep. Melscience.com. They help nurture children or, adults who are childlike at heart, like me and Andrew. It really helps accentuate our natural interest in science by giving us fun, hands-on experiments to engage, serious, detailed explanations to learn. So, what you need to do if you really want to get in on this, and just because I told you about it, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a 50% discount, all thanks to our friends at melscience.com. All you got to do is put in the name Jon, Jon. You got that, Andrew? I know you're a co-host of mine, but that doesn't mean this is a conflict of interest. Type in Jon, Jon, at melscience.com, and you'll get a 50% discount on your subscription.
Doing it.
Yes. MELS. Science.com. Yeah. Y'all know how to spell science. If you don't know how to spell science, then you have no business being on melscience.com, okay? All right, that's a look at your headlines, y'all. If you have a headline you want to share with me and Andrew, facebook.com/theanythingshow, Instagram and TikTok at anythingshowfrancois. Jon Francois here with Andrew Vandertunt, and we are here to let you know that a great show comes up for you later on with my good friend Alyssia Cobie-Nuss. Me, Andrew, and Alyssia talk about Alyssia spreading COVID throughout her family like an inconsiderate bum. I kid. Alyssia also has some BOUJEE Hot Chocolate that she wants to share with us. And also, I'll be talking to Elodie Yung, the hot rising star of the new Fox action drama, The Cleaning Lady. In the meantime, Andrew, I don't know, do we have to take a sponsor break or can we keep going? I don't know. What do you think?
I think we can keep going.
I think you... Actually, you know what? No. You know what, Andrew? Andrew, I love you, but you're wrong. The script says we have to do a sponsor break because I totally forgot.
Okay.
So let's acknowledge our sponsors for just a brief moment. First, maybe you remember, guys, that a while ago you've been hearing an ad on the Anything Show about Foxhound LLC and their wonderful short stories called How to See a Man About a Dog. Now, Foxhound LLC, they're excited to announce that Samuel Knox's cult classic, How to See a Man About a Dog, is getting a deluxe hardcover edition later this year, complete with new stories and original artwork. Andrew, round of applause. Yay!
Yay!
Woohoo! Woohoo!
What?
So shouts out to Foxhound, shouts out to How to See a Man About a Dog. I did get a copy from them. It is a great series of short stories. It'll really, really, really get you interested. And thank you so much, y'all, for sponsoring, because without you, me and Andrew would be on the street begging for hash brown. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, and those are so hard to get.
They are, honestly, because of damn capitalism, you know? Capitalism makes it hard for anybody to get hash brown these days.
I know. Let the hash browns come to the people. They need them.
Absolutely. All righty, y'all. We'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. This is The Anything Show.
This week's episode was brought to you by Art Legends in History podcast. If you want to learn history like what was pop art, who was Andy Warhol, and why did that guy paint a can of soup, this is the show for you. You can find Art Legends in History wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
The Mermaid and the Lion is a story about one couple's journey to creating a lasting love. Take a listen.
Gaza, I think I'm ready.
Ready for what? Dinner? Me too.
No, I am kind of hungry, but not for food. I'm ready for us to go to the next level physically.
What about the whole marriage thing?
I didn't say anything about marriage.
Then hell no. I'm not going there with you, Kimura. I'm not gonna be that guy.
Hey, all right, we're back, y'all. Anything Show. Jon Francois here with Andrew Vandertunt. Time for some celebrity gossip. All righty, Andrew. Jeremy Renner. He shocked me. I kid you not. Jeremy Renner said he taught girls how to put tampons in, and he said he even learned Lamaze from his mom to help with the birth of his sister. He said, quote, "I'm a badass dude because I was raised by badass women." Andrew, look, I think you have a positive opinion about this. I think of this as a creepy older guy teaching little girls how to put tampons on. I just couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
At first reading it, I could see why anyone would feel that way. And then I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? He helped learn things for childbirth, and childbirth is scary. It is like, oh my, another person comes out of you. This is the scariest thing. So he knows how to do something for that. And then he can teach someone how to use a tampon if they're like in an emergency.
I guess. So word to mind, and preferably if you're an adult woman, if you are out of tampons and you say have a red alert in your pants while you are in, say, a subway bathroom, then Jeremy Renner is just right around the corner waiting to go with his sack of tampons.
You know what? That's a public service.
Yeah.
Do it, Jeremy Renner.
You know what's not a public service? Kanye West. Honestly, I'm sick of Kanye West right now. He's now being investigated for allegedly punching a guy outside a club called the Soho Warehouse in L.A. And I just look at these stories and I'm like, you know what, Kanye, if you are trying to get Kim Kardashian back, of course this is the great way to do it.
He is acting out and doing whatever he wants. This kind of sounds like the cover that would be at a place called the Soho Warehouse. I feel like you just have to get punched in the face by somebody to go in there.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think Kanye would be the last person I'd want to be punched by because he's a very unpredictable man. You never know what could happen with him. So
Oh no, punch me. Dislocate a bone somewhere. I am suing you for everything.
Oh, so you want it to happen. Okay, here's the strange thing, because I know you, Andrew, and I know you're very out there sexual fetishes. I almost thought you were going to be like turned on by Kanye punching you, but no, you just want to make money from it.
Yes, if it was any other man, maybe it could be attractive. The fact that it's Kanye, no, not so much for me. But that bank account, and look, I'm going to say I'm in emotional distress. I can't work anymore.
Yep.
Everything.
Understandable. Celebrities. Apparently, celebrities are getting criticized for possibly contributing to childhood obesity. This new study, Andrew, says that about 90% of celebrity posts regarding food and beverages feature unhealthy choices. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Celebrities are not responsible for the way kids eat. I think that goes to the parents. What do you think?
100% agree. Teach your children how to eat. They're going to eat right. The thing to remember, these celebrities are typically doing an advertisement for a company. So health is not the concern.
Yeah, they're making money, as we ought to do in America. And it's up to you, parents, whether you let your kids get exposed to that or not. So be better parents. That's what we're telling you right now. All righty.
It's so much easier.
Yeah, exactly. Now, it's funny, Andrew. So now we're recording our Anything shows on Sundays. And let's see, we recorded like last Sunday afternoon, the first show of 2022. Later on that night, I just got the breaking news on my phone that Bob Saget had passed away. Of course, well known as Danny Tanner from the sitcom Full House. And of course, he was the original host of America's Funniest Home Videos. Now, I'm hearing so many good things about Bob Saget that I feel like there has to be something terrible about him that we're hiding. Because now, the latest great thing about Bob Saget is his support for the Scleroderma Research Foundation. That went beyond just fundraising, because he actually befriended a 9-year-old girl who has scleroderma, and he stayed in touch with her and her family until his death. So, anybody who thinks of Bob Saget as like, oh, yeah, he's just a comedian. He's like a dirty comedian outside of Full House and America's Funniest Home Videos. That's it. No, apparently he had the biggest heart ever, Andrew.
He did. All I could do was just happily read that he's done something so amazing. I'm afraid that there's going to be something bad that comes out too. But right now, I'm really hoping it's just like Mr. Rogers. There's only good there.
Yeah. And speaking of something bad coming out, how about hot sauce coming out of your vagina? Let's talk about that, Andrew. So, this next story, Instagram model, apparently she comes out with a story that she had sex with Drake, and afterward, he secretly emptied a hot sauce pocket into the used condom so she could not use it to get herself pregnant. She tried to do just that, and it did not go well for her. Yeah, I'm assuming, quite a burning feeling downstairs. What drew my attention, Andrew, is that a great way to destroy the birthing effect of sperm is to put hot sauce on it. Did you know that?
That doesn't work.
Wait. Do you know by firsthand experience? Have you tried it yourself?
I haven't tried it myself. I just know from work it doesn't work.
Now, because you are a guy that works in the medical field, can you explain why it doesn't work?
So sperm and the actual ejaculate itself, it has a protective barrier that's supposed to defend it against acidic surfaces like inside of the vagina where it would be at. That's how it travels safely to get up to the fallopian tubes. So hot sauce, it may dilute it. It may make it a very uncomfortable thing to take inside of you, but it may not kill the sperm either. So it's not a foolproof plan. So please don't just go do that. And there's just a lot here. There's a lot.
Yeah. Right now, to add on to it, now that you've disputed this whole hot sauce kills sperm thing, Drake may have a child on the way. You never know. This woman has a burning vagina, and on top of the burning vagina, she's going to have to push that baby out.
It's very true. She has a full-on fiery inside pink part, and I am sorry for that. That's just I am hurting for you, but I'm not hurting with you because you deserved it. Why would you do that? Who does that? Well, who does that? It's the worst thing ever.
Someone who wants 15 minutes of fame, and as Drake brilliantly put it in his Instagram post in response to this, hey, you can have your 15 minutes of fame. I'll have the other 23 hours and 45 minutes. So he kind of, did a mic drop on that.
Exactly. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, Jamie Lynn Spears, she is in the headlines because, obviously Britney Spears, she recently got released from her conservatorship. And Jamie, I guess Jamie's money is running out because now she's just like everywhere responding to many of Britney's jabs against her family on Good Morning America. Literally, Andrew, I did not listen to anything Jamie said because I was so focused on her nose. If you see the interview on Good Morning America, and if you know Jamie Lynn Spears as I do, because as someone who grew up watching Nickelodeon, I'm familiar with her from like All That and Zoe 101, and she looked normal. She looked very much like her sister Britney Spears, and she looked fine. And then you look at this interview that I see on Good Morning America, and I don't know. I mean, it looks like a hot air balloon replaced her nose. It's insane.
Oh no. Okay, I need to see the interview itself. I haven't seen the interview.
Yeah.
So I need to see it. But I'm not very familiar with Jamie Lynn Spears either. I only saw her in like media, like pictures. I never saw her shows.
Yeah. You're like, what, 33?
Yeah.
Okay, so you might have been like a little bit older maybe when she popped up on Nickelodeon, maybe you were past the Nickelodeon stage. Maybe. Like early 2000s or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with those show names.
Okay.
So
all right.
I didn't ever end up seeing them.
You're not familiar with All That on Nickelodeon?
Oh, I love All That, but I didn't see her on All That.
Oh, that's because she was in the newer cast, the one that everybody hated.
Oh no.
Yeah, she was in like season 8 or 9 of All That. The seasons that people would prefer to forget. Yeah, so that's probably why you didn't catch her there. All right. Oh, how about some people that you do know? Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. They've gotten engaged, Andrew. Now, funny enough, I heard this breaking news a few nights ago in a recorded conversation that you listening will hear with me, Andrew, and my good friend Alyssa from Iowa. I think my girlfriend Tony walked into the bedroom where I was broadcasting from, and I think you and Tony, Andrew, are big fans of Machine Gun Kelly to the point where you would blow him for anything. I mean, I think, was it you that broke the news that Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox got engaged in that Zoom chat?
Yes, I knew that they were engaged.
So what, do you have like a Google alert for all things MGK now?
Yes, I will know when that man does anything. If he blows his nose right now, I get an alert.
Did you get the alert that he was pulling down his pants with Pete Davidson in that Instagram live thing a while ago? They did like a Calvin Klein thing.
I got the alert for that. I got the alert. I knew.
Nice.
I knew it happened.
Nice. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, your hopes have been dashed. Megan and Machine Gun Kelly, I mean, it's official. MGK, he's off the market. And I guess to make it official, they drank each other's blood, which sounds like a very them thing to do. Am I right on that?
I knew there was those kinds of people. I just knew. But that means that they're open to a lot of things. If you're open to drinking blood, you're open to having like an outside partner or a throuple, possibly. So if that's what you're into, I support my husband very well.
All right, fine. Well, you know what? We begin a marriage with Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, and unfortunately we end one with Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet, which is a couple. I mean, they weren't like that publicized, but like they were still a couple that I thought was going to last because they seemed fine. Jason Momoa, of course, from Game of Thrones, Aquaman. Lisa Bonet, who I think is still remembered as Denise Huxtable from The Cosby Show. They announced in a joint statement yesterday, or the other day actually, that they are, quote, parting ways in marriage, end quote. They've been together since 2005, which is basically like 2 centuries in Hollywood in terms of marriages. They share 2 kids together, and they also said, quote, we free each other to be who we are learning to become, end quote. Can you decipher what that means, Andrew? Because I feel like that's just like uppity, bougie Hollywood speak.
I have no idea what that means. I have no clue. I could imagine saying that to somebody at a job and instantly being fired.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, yeah, that's something that somebody in an interview would say to think that like that's going to impress the boss, but really the boss is just like, all right, come on now, give me some regular speak, all right? Like, do you like McDonald's or you don't like McDonald's? Don't give me that fancy French restaurant crap.
You know what? I really like that.
Oh, what? The McDonald's and fancy French restaurant comparison?
Yes, because that is what that statement gives me. I just don't know what this woman's talking about. But he is like Drago from Game of Thrones. He's married to Khaleesi, the mother of dragons, so it doesn't matter. It's the only relationship I recognize for him.
Now, I watched like maybe the first 7 episodes of Game of Thrones back in the day. My then girlfriend in Iowa basically made me watch it because she was obsessed with it. Jason Momoa plays Drago in Game of Thrones. That's his character's name? Okay. Yes, making sure. I know him from Aquaman, but from Game of Thrones, I can only tell you like 7 episodes of what he may or may not have done.
He was only around for about 10, so you didn't miss out on much.
What? Okay, now I'm not going to watch the show because now you spoiled it for me.
John, that spoils nothing. Not for Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, I know. Like, doesn't a character like die like every episode in that show?
Yeah, every 2 seconds. If you get up and take a drink break during the commercial, boom, somebody's dead.
Let's resume. Hey, recording came back. Okay, sorry, I accidentally stopped our Adobe Audition recording. Let's see. We have last 2 headlines. Oh my goodness, the Oscars, the Academy Awards, where Hollywood congratulates itself on the best movies of the year. They have not had a host for ever. I think they haven't had a host in like 4 years, Andrew, and they're going to have one this year for the first time since 2018. Ceremony, of course, hopefully Omicron does not screw this up. Ceremony is happening March 27th on ABC, and there are some interesting names that are being floated around as hosts for the Oscars, possibly. Names that I really think that, like, wow, this does not fit, and the Oscars are clearly trying to go for the young crowd. Your boo-boo Pete Davidson might be the Oscars host. I mean, I don't know. Can you imagine him being in a tux and introducing the Academy Award for Best Picture?
I don't know. I've never heard him speak. I don't think so. I feel like it'll be nice to hear his voice for the first time.
Wow. You've never seen Pete Davidson on SNL, on the New Year's Eve special with Miley Cyrus. You've just seen his face and you're like, oh, daddy, don't speak.
Yes. I'm just like, you know what, girl, you sit there and you look pretty.
Okay. All right. Tom Holland from Spider-Man. Of course, Spider-Man No Way Home is like the biggest movie ever. He might be the Oscars host. I mean, have you seen his version of Spider-Man?
I saw his version of Spider-Man. And I mean, if he does that, I think he'd be pretty funny. Like, he seems like a cool person.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. I mean, I see more of these guys as actors or as entertaining performers than as Oscar hosts, but maybe they'll blow me away. And then finally, I hear about the trio of Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. They all collectively star in a show called, I believe, Only Murders in the Building on Hulu. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, because Selena Gomez is like, I mean, she's like 5 compared to Steve Martin and Martin Short, who are, you know, these old comedy legends, and maybe they're 60s or 70s at this point.
I honestly was so confused on this. I was like, okay. And so now Selena Gomez, I don't know what she's from, but I've seen her. So I know that she has like a very bubbly and vivacious personality. And then I'm imagining Martin Short and Steve Martin. I'm like, I feel like they would just be so weird together on stage.
Yeah. But so you know Steve Martin and Martin Short, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I know both of them.
Okay. Selena Gomez, let's see. She dated Justin Bieber for a while when they were both younger. Selena Gomez started off as a Disney Channel star. She was in that show Wizards of Waverly Place, and then she got off into a singing career. But I'm looking at your face on Zoom, and you still don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? The world is a better place when we don't know who Selena Gomez is. So I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
I mean, I've seen pictures of her. She is beautiful, and I know she hosted some show I saw a long time ago, and she seemed super happy. So I think it would be fun.
Okay. Well, there you go. I assume you know who Sidney Poitier is, Andrew.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
Oh, thank God. Well, unfortunately, we did lose Sidney Poitier recently. And I mean, my God, I mean, this guy broke ground. He is the first black actor to win an Oscar for Best Actor, you know, speaking of our Oscar conversation. And he was 94 years old, definitely lived a great life. And maybe you knew him from movies like Lilies of the Field or Raisin in the Sun, The Defiant Ones, In the Heat of the Night, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. He was fabulous. I've seen him in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, A Raisin in the Sun, and that movie where he was with the white blind girl. I think it's called A Patch of Blue or A Coat of Blue or whatever. I saw that back in college. It was great. You know, there's criticism that, you know, Sidney Poitier played like a sort of a non-threatening, like neutral Uncle Tom who didn't do anything about, you know, his aggressive white antagonist when he should have. Sure, an argument could be made of that. However, at the same time, I mean, if he wasn't there to break ground, we would not have actors today like Denzel Washington, Michael B. Jordan. The list goes on and on. So I love Sidney Poitier, and I'll love him forever.
I love him forever. He broke ground, and Raising the Sun is actually one of my favorite movies to just watch, just whenever I can get a chance to watch it. And a lot of his things I saw through like a theater lit class. So it made me fall in love with his acting, but his activism on top of that, knowing that not only did he take that role on to be typecasted over and over again, but then he, on top of that, still broke ground to get other people in the industry, and also for civil rights itself. So,
oh, yeah. Yeah. Going to the civil rights movement, I mean, there are pictures where you see Sidney Poitier with Harry Belafonte, marching for civil rights back in the 60s. So Sidney Poitier, even though, he had this perception of as sort of an Uncle Tom on screen, behind the scenes, he obviously was for his people, getting the same rights as non-people of color,
It sucks to see that so many people are dying. And then you see somebody like him. I wonder if it's just like finally he gets a chance to be at peace because he's been doing so much for so long.
I guess. You know what? You may have a point there. Well, rest in peace, Sidney Poitier, Betty White, Bob Saget. My God. I mean, I think the last time I remember this many people dying at the beginning of the year, I think it must have been could have been 2016, 2017, 2018, something like that. Because I do remember, where a year began in the past, and it was like, whoa, like David Bowie and Natalie Cole and all these famous musicians are dying all of a sudden. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, this is the start. This is the start of the beginning of something. Like Skynet is about to take over, or like the internet is just going to run the rest of our lives. Something's happening. I don't know what it is, but the people that are like the good people are just like, we're out, we're leaving.
Yep. Well, that's your celebrity gossip, y'all. Hi, celebrity gossip. Do you have music? Do we have music? Oh, never mind. Hi, we do have music. Hey, I put it on mute. Alrighty. If you have a piece of celebrity gossip, let us know. Facebook.com/The Anything Show. Instagram and TikTok at Anything Show Francois. No, stop it. Don't freeze on me. My goodness gracious. I ought to slap the ass of this celebrity gossip music. Just give it a good spanking. What do you think, Andrew?
Oh, bend it right on over. Make it pay for what it's done.
You're going to pay for not playing when I want you to play, baby. Alrighty, we have a wonderful, wonderful conversation coming up later on with my good friend Alyssa from Iowa. She filled in at the last minute for a guest that we were supposed to have who had to drop out. So thank you, Alyssa, for doing that. Like I said, from COVID within her family to the Northeast Iowa school system that she works in and how, they're not doing that great during the pandemic. And also the BOUJEE Hot Chocolate she ends up trying. And also, I think we end up just discussing many TV shows that we're obsessed with. I think at one point, Andrew, me and Alyssa forced you to watch Queer Eye on Netflix.
I have partaken in the episodes and it's fun. Oh, I love it.
We got to talk more about that in another show. But coming up right now, we have my conversation with Elodie Yung, a wonderful actress who stars in the new Fox action drama that's getting all the buzz, The Cleaning Lady, which I believe are Monday nights at Fox. So we'll get to that. Andrew, I will see you on the other side for our conversation with Alyssa in a few minutes.
Yay.
Yay! Well, you know what? I was looking into your background here, and I was really struck by how, when you were a kid, you were very much into karate. It seemed like that was what you were going to do. But then here you are. I mean, you're a very famous, talented actress. So, tell me about that transition, going from karate and how that led to your acting career.
Well, it's not quite how it led to my acting career. I was in karate, I don't know, kids do other sports. It was just a way for me to, I grew up in a very rough area in France. So my dad actually was asking me when I was 9 years old, he asked me if I wanted to do dance or karate. And I think he kind of seduced me in the karate world because he thought that would be a good thing for me to be able to defend myself somehow. I don't know. So this is how I got involved in this. And I enjoyed it. It gave me a lot of I don't know, lots of things for a lot of discipline, a lot of work ethic. These are like things that I've had that I learned earlier on in my life, and that I do put in my craft, in my acting. But I was not, I was never going to pursue a karate as a career. I don't even know if this exists. I studied law at university. This is what I was going to do. Actually, I wanted to be a judge. I mean, I had like a few ideas, judge or a lawyer, and in immigration, actually. And that was something that I had in mind. And then I started as an actress a bit randomly, and because I needed money, and I got lucky. I was just like, my first job was a part in a series. And I lied to the casting directors because she asked me if I was an actress, and I said yes. And I got the part, and eventually I did this for a few months, and then I went back to my studies. So acting came in my life. I was back and forth studying law and then acting sometimes. And then I had to make a choice, and I chose acting because it's a real passion.
Yeah. And it seems like you really broke big in Hollywood with the girl with the dragon tattoo back in 2011. I definitely remember that movie coming out and it being a big deal. So what was that like for you, having that first big, really breakout American success, and, maybe how it compares to your time acting in France?
Well, I've never seen it as a big break, and it was never a big break for me. Actually, it was a beautiful experience, and first experience here in America, because I got the opportunity to work with David Fincher, who I absolutely adore and admire. So that was just. I don't know. It just felt like it was right. Just working with artists and, people who are creative. This is how I saw it. I felt that in France, I was hitting a plateau. How would you say? It was just the parts coming my way were not as interested. I decided to stop a very successful series that I was doing there because I was bored. I was even boring myself with my acting. So I needed to take a break. And this is how I decided to go to London and, do a little course there at LAMDA, because I just needed to refresh, and see something. And coming to the US, with this movie Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was kind of the same thing. It was just a new experience, and just working with, different people, a different culture, different artists. And this is what I crave.
Yeah. And I remember seeing you in the Netflix show Daredevil as the female. Yeah, as Elektra. I mean, that was just fabulous. Tell me about that experience, because I was looking at that show and I was like, man, Daredevil is just one of those Marvel heroes that I don't hear too much about. I think really the last time I saw it being portrayed in media was with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner back in the early 2000s. Tell me about that experience.
Well, it was really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. Although what I'm doing right now with the cleaning lady and Tony, my character, is very much what I like to do, because it's more grounded and it's real. It feels really real to me. But portraying Elektra was extremely fun, although I always try to make it a bit more grounded and make her human as opposed to a superhero, because I just wanted to relate to her. And I do feel that this is a rule, what you have to do as an actor. You need to relate to your character in order to move and touch, the audience, because people need to relate. This is my view on it. But it was just like a fun experience. I got to live in New York for 2 years and work on rooftops at nighttime and do crazy stunts. Working with Charlie Cox was a blast. He was just a wonderful partner to work with. And, portraying this sulky, seductive, kind of twisted character was just, you don't get to do this every day. So it was just a lot of fun, really.
Yeah, yeah, and of course we go to the present day. As you mentioned, you're currently starring in the Fox show, The Cleaning Lady. I love this premise. Can you tell us what is it about and who your character is?
Yeah, so we're following Toni de la Rosa. She's a surgeon. She lives in the Philippines, and she's Cambodian. She comes to the US because, unfortunately, her son suffers from an immune disorder. And the only way she can save him is to get a bone marrow transplant. So when they arrive to the US in the hope of having this transplant done, the bone marrow donor backs out. And she then decides to overstay her visa and become undocumented because it's the only way she potentially can find a cure for her son, because in the Philippines, she can't have it. So she's here with a dying son, undocumented. She takes a job as a cleaning lady because that's what her sister-in-law, Fiona, does. And one night she's sent on a job and she witnesses a murder committed by the mob. And in order to save her life, she offers to clean the crime scene. And this is how she gets involved in the crime scene in Vegas as well. And then she has to navigate all of that, being undocumented in the US, trying to find a cure for her son, and then, trying to dodge the bad guys as well. And the FBI comes and tries to get her as well. It's a mess. It's really hard for Toni. It's kind of a really bad ride that she's on.
I love it. And we are recording this on Tuesday the 4th. I know the show premiered on Fox last night on the 3rd. How has the response to the show been so far after the premiere of the first episode?
Look, I just woke up like it's 5:30 in the morning. I have no idea. I don't even know if these guys at Fox are awake. But I am talking about it and very proud and happy. Look, I'm just excited. It's been such a wonderful experience. To me, I mean, the result, I would love for it to work, and I would love for people to love the show as much as I've loved it. But I also take it for what it was, which was, I had the opportunity to portray an extremely fascinating, woman. And I had the opportunity to work with wonderful actors, and I loved partnering with my showrunner as well. It was just such a creative crew and team that I take it for what it was, and I'm just grateful for that.
Awesome.
But I hope it's going to work, though. I really hope it's going to work.
I think it will. I mean, from what I've seen, it's a fabulous show. Before you go, Elodie, can we just find out how we can follow you on social media?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, and it's my name with weird dots between my each letters, because I could not find a way to just write my name normally. I don't know. I'm not the best at social media, so forgive me sometimes if I post something and I'm like, oh no, what have I posted, and I delete it, and sometimes I just it's just a little hard, but I'm getting way better at it. And because I just wanted to reach out people for them to know that the show's coming out. And look, I'm so proud of it. It's the first time I'm that proud of something I'm doing. So follow me on Instagram, and we'll have a exchange of, I don't know how you say, like DP, DM, whatever. Yeah. Whatever. I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, well, I'm on Instagram and TikTok at anything show. So I will definitely follow you right now, Elodie Yung.
Well, I'll follow you as well.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
So, how has everything been, Alyssa? It's been when were you last on the show? You were on the show before. No, you were on the show when you were pregnant. You didn't even have Clara yet.
Yeah, it was only a month into the shutdown. So almost 2 years.
A month after the shutdown, or a month before the shutdown?
Well, a month into it.
Oh.
It was April. It was April of 2020.
Jesus Christ! What the hell? Why has it been so long?
You know, I don't know, John. I don't know.
You know what? I know why. You're a busy mom and guidance counselor. You just don't have time for anybody anymore.
It's a school counselor, okay?
Oh, wait. So, wait, what did you say, Andrew?
I said, I like that shirt.
Yeah.
What does it say? It says Iowa needs school counselors. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Nice.
John, do
All
you
right. Well, I guess we could just wait, what?
I was gonna say, do you remember when you were living in Iowa, like the store Raygun?
The store. Say it
Raygun.
again?
Raygun.
RAYGUN.
Mm-hmm. They make a lot. It's out of Des Moines, but they make a lot of like political type shirts like this. So a lot of times there'd be ones like making fun of our really Republican legislators. And that link that I sent you yesterday, the headline from Iowa, that was Raygun coming out with a new shirt that said "Sinister Teachers" because of what that Republican legislator said yesterday or Monday. He called all of us teachers sinister because we have these sinister agendas.
Your plot take over the world.
Yep.
All right, so let's try to make sense of that. Why are you guys referred to as sinister people with liberal agendas? Is this legislator basically saying F all teachers? They're trying to manipulate our students, and we shouldn't like have students go to school anymore?
Well, okay, so he made a clarifying statement today, I think, where it was like, I didn't mean all teachers, but it is clear that some of our educators in public Iowa schools are trying to, what was it? I can't remember the full quote, but he's basically saying that we are exposing our children to obscene material.
Like what? Because I was just sharing with Tony, my girlfriend, this whole idea of, books probably being banned in Iowa. I thought that wasn't a thing anymore. Apparently it is. Like, what kind of material, what kind of books are going to pop?
So basically any books that have to do with like LGBTQ stuff or race.
All right. So Andrew, don't go to Iowa anytime soon.
Stay away now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They're like, they're saying that we're encouraging pedophilia and incest and other stuff.
By teaching what?
I don't know. I don't know what they think we're trying to teach.
Okay.
I've heard in some states there's some parent, because there's a lot of pushback against critical race theory in schools. And actually, Iowa.
Now, which brings me to this. Explain what critical race theory is, because I feel like I, as a Black guy, should know, but I don't know. Is it just talking about racism and how we can solve it?
Yeah, it's basically talking about systemic racism. How like there's all these systems in our society that have set more boundaries up for people of color, and how it kind of shows how we have like white privilege, like the different types of privilege people have. And so I don't think the people that are against it really understand what critical race theory, but there is a law like in Iowa that we cannot teach anything that implies that the United States of America or Iowa is inherently racist or sexist. Like that's a law, and Iowa's teachers can't teach it. Anything related to racism.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. So when you hear that, Andrew, what are your thoughts?
Well, America has never had a racism problem. It's here. I really don't know what you're referencing when you say that. So as an American, I believe that everybody is free. But truthfully speaking, it's bullshit. I don't like the that critical race theory has been turned into a term that's meant to be politicized or attacking somebody for just wanting to understand the inherent biases that exist in our society. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, this is what our history has defined. It's no longer his story or written by the person who was the winner. It's just addressing the truth that's here. And if we can't even address the truth that has occurred and is not actually happening right in front of you, when I say that, at least to my knowledge, there are no Black people picking cotton and putting it into a cotton gin right now. But for us to actually have that conversation so we know where life started for some people, it would be very new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This just seems like a case of, Iowa being a very white state. I think there are just some people in that white glob of marshmallow goodiness that just doesn't like to acknowledge the fact that, hey, maybe your ancestors fucked up. Maybe we made mistakes as Americans in the past, and maybe we can learn from them and learn how to do better. I think there seems to be a very unhealthy thing of denial happening by saying, we're not going to talk about critical race theory. So,
It's funny because, I hear a lot of times that from conservatives about those liberal snowflakes get offended by everything, but yet here they are. They're like so afraid of their children feeling guilty for what their ancestors did or for having any sort of privilege when, it's ridiculous. And my husband's school, actually, the school board passed a policy too about teachers not being able to say or do anything that the school that would represent the school in a negative way. And it came from a parent getting upset that a teacher had a pride flag in her classroom.
Wow. Well, what a way to start the conversation here. I guess for anybody listening who might be confused, let's just provide some context. Alyssa, a good friend of mine from the state of Iowa, where I used to live and work. And I always get this confused. You are a guidance counselor, not a teacher within the now, are you in Northeast Iowa? You're in Northeast Iowa.
Yeah,
okay.
John, you lived in Northeast Iowa.
No. But okay. So I was in the town of Decorah, and are you still in West Union, or are you somewhere else?
Yeah.
Isn't West Union like 30 minutes away? Isn't it like a different county in Iowa than Decorah?
Oh, yeah, but that's still Northeast Iowa.
Okay. So Alyssa is part of the Northeast Iowa school system as a guidance counselor. She is helping the children become, I guess, liberal pedophilia snowflakes, whatever the Republicans want to say they are. I don't know. But yeah, she's doing good work. And if I'm not mistaken, she said she was last on the show back in April 2020 when she was pregnant. And now since then, she has a child named Clara. Now, to me, Clara is still like a 2-month-old baby, but I'm pretty sure at this point, your daughter Clara is 2.
She's 18 months, right in the middle.
Okay. So I feel like you are juggling a lot, and you seem to be doing it in a very wonderful way. I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Alyssa is dealing with being still a fairly new mother in the age of COVID, especially as the Omicron variant is, making things screwed up. And also, you're part of the school system. And I believe you said that, teachers, we're not getting enough of them. So what is it like? What is it like for you there?
Well, I think we've all kind of heard about staff shortages like everywhere. What did they call this? The great resignation. Yeah. Well, It's even more so in education, and it's not just because of COVID, but because of all the political stuff going on too, where teachers they're just leaving. Like with the stuff with the pushback against certain books being taught in schools. There's been some teachers that have resigned this past fall in Iowa because of it. Because of those legislators kind of going after them, and parents too. But also, the COVID pandemic is still a really big issue because at least in Iowa, we are not allowed, our schools are not allowed to enforce a mask mandate. We can encourage masks, but we are not allowed as a school to say that all students and staff have to wear a mask to school. We can't.
Andrew, do you know of any mask mandates? Doesn't New York City have some kind of mandate that's pretty strict?
If you step out your front door and don't have a mask in your hand, you better go home. Better go. You walk into a business here and you don't have a mask on, security will politely tap you on the shoulder, say, gather your things and evacuate the premises. They will not let you.
Yeah.
Yep. And so then, a bunch of us are getting COVID. We all of our house had COVID just this last couple months. Clara and Tracy, my husband, had it in November, and then I got it a month later. We all had mild cases. Luckily, both of us have been vaccinated. We both had just missed our boosters, though, before getting this one. So maybe if we had gotten our booster ahead a little bit earlier, maybe we could have not gotten it. But yep, we all got COVID here, which means I'm out of sick days already.
No.
I still have half of a school year to go, but I have no more paid sick days.
Okay, so anytime I know someone personally that has COVID, I look at them like some kind of a science experiment. Like I look at you like you've been to space, like you've had sex with monkeys or whatever, because I want to ask you all the questions. I just want to ask you how did you feel? Like, did you feel like you were gonna die at one moment? I mean, what are the symptoms you went through?
No, I mean, and it was funny because when Tracy and Clara had it the month before me, I kind of had the same reaction. I was like, you actually have COVID.
Yeah. It's almost like being a celebrity at this point. Like it seems because people look at you differently when you have COVID.
Yeah. And no, all three of us just had basic kind of cold symptoms. Like mine started with sore throat. And then I got really congested, and then a cough. I think I had a fever one evening. But yeah, I mean, like I said, though, both of us were vaccinated. So maybe we didn't get it too bad because of that. But
yeah. How long did you have to quarantine for?
Well, it was 10 days.
Okay. So that was before they instituted like the 5-day rule.
Yeah. It was right before they changed it. Like, after I finished my isolation time, then it was like the next week, and then they had shortened it to 5 days. But it's just crazy because when you work at a school and, there isn't a mask mandate, and then kids will be gone sick, but they won't get parents won't get them tested, or, then they still come to school, even though they say they're, they got cold symptoms, but they didn't get tested. We can't enforce really them to get tested. And so they're still coming to school. Yeah.
Jeez. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Now, Andrew, I feel like, Andrew, you either had COVID or you came into close contact with someone from COVID, or someone with COVID.
I'm pretty sure that I have had COVID, and I'm thinking way back in the beginning of the early stages of the pandemic before there was really good testing, because I got really, really sick, but I was working in a hospital at that point. So I'm sure I may have come into contact there. And honestly, every day at this point, especially with the holidays being over and kids coming back to our office for their braces, I'm pretty sure I've been exposed to COVID over and over again.
Yeah. And you know what? Andrew is the perfect example of the extrovert who's smart and who is very secure within himself. Because here I am thinking like, oh, this guy over here gonna go party like it's 1999 on New Year's Eve. And what did you end up doing, Andrew?
I stayed home and played video games.
We were in bed by like 10.
Mm-hmm.
But we're all
both of you were in bed at the same time, and Andrew usually parties until like 7 a.m. It was insane. I had a wild night, and I'm usually that doesn't do that stuff often. So I was surprised. I mean, I told Andrew that we had a few friends over here at the house for New Year's Eve, the same bunch of friends that we would usually hang with. And drinks and marijuana were passed around, and I've been told that you should not drink and smoke weed at the same time. But, hey, when you want to end off 2020 with a bang, you end it off with a bang. So I ended off with quite a bang into this trash can over here. I did some vomiting there. And you know what? Interestingly enough, Alyssa, this is information you don't want to know, but this pre-made strawberry margarita that I bought at like a redemption center beforehand for the party, my vomit was the same color.
Well, yeah, that's typically how it happens.
Yeah.
John, why
would I vomit? What?
No, why would you share that?
A pre-made margarita? Oh no.
Because because I like margaritas, and I knew that nobody, including me, wanted to make the effort of making them. So I thought, all right, let me just buy this pre-made thing for like $9 at the store. And it gave me like a sugar headache almost immediately. It was awful. It was awful.
I'm sorry.
Like ridiculously sweet then?
Oh yeah, ridiculously
like
sweet.
Syrupy?
I'm sure. I mean, I don't even remember. I mean, all I know is that I had that piece of shit, and then I had some other frozen margarita drinks that Tony made, and then I had like a Jack Daniels thing. I don't know about that. All I know was that I wasn't ready to go to sleep until like 5:30 in the morning, and I didn't recover until like 3 p.m. on New Year's Day. It was quite a way to ring in the new year. Hey,
Yeah,
oh my
Bert.
God, there's your cat. Hey, your cat is named Charles.
No, it's Bert. Come on, John. You met Bert a couple times.
Now, so who had COVID first in the family? So you have you, your husband Tracy, your daughter Clara.
Do you think it was Clara because she got it from daycare? Like the entire like half the infant room got it at her daycare center, and then I'm pretty sure Tracy got it from her, and then I must have got it from school because it was like a month later. I never got it from either of them, even though we weren't like trying to distance ourselves by any means. So, my COVID positive daughter, putting her hands in my mouth, doing all the things you do when you're a toddler. And I never got it from her. I got it a month later.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It doesn't. And it's tricky when babies have it because I don't think can babies get vaccinated at this point?
No.
They still can't?
Nope.
Yeah.
No, but luckily babies and kids still tend to be fairly mild cases. So she wasn't any much sicker than us. I don't think did she ever even have a fever? I don't think she ever had a fever even.
Wow.
Maybe a low grade, 99-ish.
So since that incident, and how long did it take for Clara to recover from the COVID?
All of us, we were like sick for maybe 5 days, a week.
Okay. So you were like a collective COVID family. You guys bonded over this annoying virus.
Oh yeah. Hi.
Yeah. Now, who gave Bert COVID? Did somebody give COVID to the cat?
Honestly, we've talked about that. We feel like he had it, or maybe still has some long COVID effects because he's been having these like sneezing attacks where he's like,
oh my God.
And his nose was like kind of runny.
Oh Lord. Well, be careful because, Bert and we have a special connection. I mean, I would like to see him before he potentially gets COVID.
Remember his name.
He seemed like a Charles. Oh, you know why? Because like Charles used to be one of the cats that we had around here before he unfortunately passed away. That's why he looks like Charles. He reminds me of Charles.
Yeah. Yeah. See, John, you were at our house like right after we got him, I thought.
Yeah. And I made sure, Andrew, I visited them, and this was shortly after I got Buddy for the first time, and right before I left for Vermont. I paid the Nusses a visit with Bert, and I believe Bert did not take too kindly to Buddy when he first met him. I think his hair stood up crazy.
Aww.
Yeah, his hair on his back and then his tail like fluffs out. We call it raccoon tail.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. It was quite a sight to see. Andrew, so I guess speaking of like, you know, spreading COVID to people, is there someone or maybe a few people in your life, could be work, could be family, could be friends, could be just people that gave you the wrong look on the street. Can you think of at least one person in your mind that you would like to give COVID to because you just hate them so much?
That I would like to give COVID to.
Yeah. Or you just wish COVID upon. I know this is awful, Alyssa. This is not the conversation that you asked for.
I do have somebody that I would like to wish them having a little COVID, maybe the Omicron variant. Yeah, because Delta is serious. The Omicron is not as bad, but I do have a person.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say
hints as to person. Damn it. I mean, does this person listen to the podcast? Is that why?
No, it's not that. If they listen to the podcast and they heard me say their name, fine. It's still fine. But no, I just don't want to say it because I just feel like that would actually make me feel bad if they got COVID if I spoke it out loud.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Alyssa, it seems like the entire Iowa State legislature, you want to wish COVID upon them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, are they the type where they're like so ignorant about everything related to COVID, but it's not until they get COVID that they wouldn't be ignorant about it anymore?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of government places that are in denial of COVID will come back like, oh, it's fine. I had it and I only was on a ventilator for a day. It's passable. You can do this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I also... Wait, what?
I was gonna say it's sad though because like I spent about an hour this afternoon with a student who just lost her grandpa to COVID, like on Monday. So yeah, it's like that's the next thing that I have. I'm helping some of the kids with is losing family members now.
Yeah. My former co-host Maciel lost her mom to COVID, I believe, and so needless to say, whenever she comes across an anti-vaxxer or somebody who doesn't believe in masking up, she gets very sensitive about it. It's surreal. I mean, I unfortunately live in a pretty conservative area of Vermont where you have the ignorance about COVID come up every now and then. The radio station I work at, I had a prize winner who I had a lovely interaction with on the air, but off the air, I got to see her true colors because, I'm asking her how she's doing and she's like, oh, it's been busy. I'm the assistant town clerk somewhere and it's busy and I'm feeling sick and I just feel like crap. And I just asked her out of nowhere, I'm like, hey, okay. Have you taken like a COVID test just in case? You never know. And of course, she's just like, no, I will never take one of those tests. I don't believe in that COVID crap. Believe me, it's just a virus. The Spanish flu that we had back in the day was much worse. I will never take that test. And I'm like, all right, that's your opinion. Let's move on.
I don't get the fear of actually just getting tested. Like I get the whole vaccine thing because they're putting something in you. I mean, I don't agree with it, but why is getting a test so?
Well, I mean, to her, it's not even just not wanting to get tested. She just doesn't believe that COVID is a thing. She just thinks that it's just a bunch of malarkey, as Joe Biden would say. And, what are you going to do? Like, hey, 400,000 people have died from it in this country, but sure, it's a bunch of fake malarkey.
I think it's more than that even now.
Oh, I thought the death toll came up to 400,000. Is it more than 400,000 by now?
I feel like it was.
Yeah.
It's gotten a little bit higher because I know they haven't calculated all of the infections / deaths that occurred from the holiday season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a sad conversation to have.
Should we talk about what I'm drinking right now?
Yeah. What are you drinking right now?
So This is called sipping chocolate. So
explain what that is.
It basically tastes like the richest hot chocolate you have ever had, ever. But you put in this little cup.
Ooh.
You know, Alyssa, I was hoping you wouldn't like be a part of this liberal elite stereotype, but I think you're living it right now. God damn it.
No, we didn't buy this. This was a gift sent to us from our friends that live in the Twin Cities in Minnesota.
Oh.
They sent it to us. It just came in this like bottle. It just looks like chocolate milk. But it's from some chocolate store there. I don't know. Is this what the company Legacy Chocolates? And so we're like, ooh, we've never seen this before.
So does it come in a box?
No, well, did it come in a box? Oh yeah, I think it came in a box because it's a bottle of like chocolate milk. It looks like chocolate milk, but then it had the 2 little cups with it in the box.
The sipping chocolate. That sounds so fancy.
I know, right?
It does.
I need to like, put out my pinky as I drink it.
Yeah.
The Anything Show with John Francois is on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts. Join us on YouTube, Facebook.com/The Anything Show, and Instagram and TikTok at Anything Show Francois. Join Andrew Vandertunt on Lifestyle of a Gay Black Boy wherever you get podcasts and on Instagram and TikTok at AJ Vandertunt.